Trying to roll my weed. Fuck you, man. Stuck a bad bitch talking about I only smoke fuck the leaf. Throwback nigga, I pull up with the Dutch. I told my mama was so good. Trying to be the only one. Trying to be the only son. You wanna hold a nigga gun and shit.
Daddy wanna ride into the morning sun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She wanna be my secret.
I am in the building. I am in the building.
Is it just because I am the only one?
True and Living has stepped in the building. We're gonna get to these topics.
She know what it is, I come in the vet, I come for respect, I come for your neck, you know what it is. I'm smoking the weed, that's side with D, she on her knees, she just on the police, she know what it is, she from the hood, bad was, I'm all in the car, popping a bra, she smoking the weed, and drinking Douce. Shawty wanna pull,
Turn up in that chat.
Shawty wanna pull,
Turn up in that chat.
when she ride on 4 Giados, and she know she dropped the bottle. Oh, she tryna pull up. Oh, she tryna pull up. Oh, she tryna pull up. Daddy wanna ride into the morning sun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She wanna be my seat with the recline, even though
We're here to talk about it tonight.
is it just because
Hope you guys are tuned in.
she wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine. Hit her with a
Donald Trump sits down with Adin Ross.
ride around my side of town.
We're here to go through this thing tonight. We're here to go through this thing tonight. Are we not?
Go get dope and stay with me. You a fucking trees, you a fucking trees, you are for the street. Killer shot, she busted up like Selena. Ass bitch, she looking like she Trina. She ain't no contender, she only a beginner. Dirty name from Granada, bitch don't get nada. Bitch be rockin' Prada, only eat McDonald's. You crazy. You crazy, you crazy. You a Big Mac thing, you fucking lazy. You don't faze me. You fucking crazy. You ain't the only
You ain't the only
You ain't
one.
the only one. You ain't the only one. You ain't the only one. You ain't the only one.
Political left, you ain't the only one we can vote for.
Daddy wanna ride into the morning sun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She drive the boat, tryna smoke while she hold my gun. Tryna tell me love you are the only one. She wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one? She wanna be my seat with the recline, even though she be fine, hit her with a decline. Is it just because I am the only one?
Welcome to the Checkin' Report. I am your humble host, True and Living. This is the Checkin' Report, y'all. How y'all doing out there, man? It's good to be here. Good to be back. Back where we belong. We're here to talk about politics tonight. Donald Trump sat down with popular streamer Adin Ross. We're here to talk about it. Yeah, he sat down with popular streamer Adin Ross. You know, and the young man Adin Ross, he's been licking the boots of Donald Trump. He's had an epiphany now. You know, he's tired of running around with black rappers and voting Democrat. He's ready now to be a conservative and vote a Republican and vote for Donald Trump. And let me say this real quick. Let me just say this. Make no mistake. Adin Ross is a colonizer. He has no place in hip-hop. He has no voice in hip-hop. He's just a streamer. And a lot of publications like Complex, you know, different media places, Complex, Vibe. No, they make these lists. These are the top people with the voices in hip-hop. I disagree. Kai Cenat is not a voice in hip-hop. He's just a streamer. Does he have influence? Absolutely. Does Adin Ross have influence? Absolutely. But are they a voice? No. Adin Ross is not a Sway Calloway. Adin Ross is not a Ed Lover. Adin Ross is not a Freddie, a Fab Five Freddy from the popular show Yo MTV Raps. Adin Ross is not a Big Tigger with over 30 years in hip-hop and doing hip-hop journalism. Adin Ross is not an Angie Martinez. Adin Ross is not a Wendy Williams. Adin Ross is not a Troy Terrain. And even though I got my gripes with this man, Adin Ross is not a Charlemagne the God. You know? These people don't have voices in hip-hop. They are just streamers. They are fanboys of the culture. That's all. That's it. Are labels reaching out to some of these streamers, licking the kneecaps, trying to get, you know, some streams to their artists when they're not popping? Of course that's happening. But Adin Ross is not a voice in hip-hop. He does not speak for hip-hop. So you get a lot of colonizers in the game right now. Trap Lord Ross, Adam 22, Vladimir. A lot of colonizers in the culture. A lot of colonizers in the culture. What have they given back? They take. A lot of colonizers in the culture. Trap Lord Ross, Vladdy TV, Adam 22. They take from the community. But what are they giving back to the hip-hop community? Absolutely nothing. So I just had to let that be known. But yeah, we're going to talk about Adin Ross sitting down with Donald J. Trump. We have to talk about that tonight. That's today's topic. Yeah, he did a stream. He did a stream with... Now, listen, I'm going to give kudos to Adin because, you know, this was big. To have a former president on your stream, that's pretty big. He's doing the damn thing. I'm not going to hate on that aspect, but when you're saying that you're like, you know, a voice for hip-hop, Adin Ross, you're not a voice for hip-hop. You're a nerdy incel fanboy that leeches on male and men figures that you like. I seen you do it with Andrew Tate. I seen you do it with different other people that was in the manosphere, and now you're doing it with Donald Trump. Adin Ross, you're just a fanboy, an incel streamer who, let's be honest, if you never hopped on stream, you would have been getting stuffed in lockers, wedgied, wet willies. But you found a space on the internet with a bunch of incels, a bunch of weirdos that connected to you, and I'm not mad at that. You know, you got a bag out of it. Salute to Adin Ross. So, oh, Sinclair's in the building. What's up, Sinclair? What's up, Sinclair? How you doing, Sinclair? What's up? Sinclair's in the building. So we're going to watch this interview that Adin wrote. And another thing I have to say, you know, he conducted I mean, this was less of an interview and more of a political stroking. He might as well had pulled down Donald Trump's pants and start stroking his strudel. This was a terrible interview. Adin Ross, you might as well have just got on your knees and started blowing him. Like, I mean, it was just pure fan service, man. I mean, are you trying to conduct a real interview with Donald Trump? Or are you trying to, you know, are you trying to give him some ass? Like, what's going on here, Adin Ross? This whole interview just made it. I felt like you was trying to give him some ass. I didn't feel like you were conducting a real interview. I didn't feel like you were, you know, trying to ask him the tough questions. I felt like you was trying to give him some ass, Adin. Let me know, man. I didn't feel like you were asking him the tough questions. I felt like it was a lot of fan service, man. And you know, Adin Ross, he just attaches himself to, you know, any male figure that he likes, whether it's Charleston White, whether it's Andrew Tate, and whether right now it's Donald Trump. You know, he attaches himself to these male figures because he's an incel. He doesn't have any masculine, you know, traits or masculine characteristics of himself. So he leeches on to other males to be a male role model or a male figure for him. That's why he's sucking the kneecaps of a Donald Trump right now. Somebody said he's not a journalist. That's a fact. He's not a journalist. He's not a journalist, but you could at least ask the questions, man. Listen, if you're gonna be a streamer, right? If you're gonna be, you know, talking to people that's going to be running the free nation, ask questions we haven't heard, bro. Because there's questions that a lot of journalists won't even ask because they're too scared to ask. Ask Trump the questions that people want to hear, man. I mean, he literally conducted an interview with Donald Trump and would just, you know. He was just pretty much, you know, beating him off, stroking him off. I was watching this interview. I was like, yo, like, I don't understand. Like, is Adin trying to do an interview or is he trying to throw Donald Trump some ass? Like, what is going on here? I was confused. Like, I'm not expecting him to conduct an interview like a CNN or like a Fox News or nothing like that. But, I mean, ask him some questions, man. Ask him some tough questions that the people want to ask. I mean, I know he's not working with no type of agenda or, you know, whether, you know, maybe he's working with the European Jewish agenda because I believe he's a European Jewish man. Respect to that community, but you know, I mean, I guess he didn't have any tough questions to ask. You know, he was just trying to throw him some ass during the interview. But let's get into this interview with Donald Trump and Adin Ross. You're gonna see what I'm talking about. Let's continue though.
You're probably like, what the heck is going on here, huh?
Yeah, what's going on here? What's going on?
Well, today is gonna be the most important stream I've ever done. First of all,
and that's true. Like this, listen. I'm not gonna sit here and knock Adin. This was dope for him. To have a former president on your stream, that's big, man. That's dope. I can't hate on that. But you dropped the ball on asking this man some tough questions, man. I know you a fanboy. I know you want to lick the boots of Donald Trump. I know that you like to leech on to males and men figures that you like. You know? You had a little boy crush on Andrew Tate. You had a little boy crush on Charleston White. And now you got a little boy crush on Donald J. Trump. But ask the man some tough questions, man. What with the fan service and ask some tough questions. Let's get into it.
I want to say thank you for doing this. Seriously.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Get some good ratings today.
We're gonna get some good ratings. Everyone thought this was gonna be fake today, but you know, we proved them wrong. So.
No, you're right in the living room of Mar-a-Lago, which I don't allow.
I think that this was beneath Trump. I'm going to be honest. Trump didn't have to do this. He didn't need to do this. This was definitely beneath Trump, but I mean, he wanted to talk to the younger audience. And Adin Ross represents the younger audience. Streamers like him, they represent the younger audience. You know, I don't think Donald Trump wants to hop on a TikTok like Kamala Harris. He don't want to do that. You think Donald Trump want to be, in the videos doing all these stupid dances and he don't want to be doing all of that. He want to do a video. He want to, do a little interview on a stream that suits his needs. That's something he could do. He could fit that in his schedule. Let's continue, though. Let's continue.
This to be ever done. So you're the first, just about.
Thank you.
And we'll have a little fun today.
do
My
it.
son Baron says hello. He's a great young guy, but he's a big fan of yours.
What's up, Baron? Yeah, Baron's awesome. He's a great kid. Amazing. He's tall.
guy.
Very tall.
He's tall, good student.
Yeah, he's very smart. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he is.
I do want to first off, say this. Everyone in the chat, everyone in this room, everyone loves you. And
That's not true. Everyone doesn't love you, Trump. The hood has respect for you. Don't get me wrong, Trump. The hood got a lot of respect for you because you fed the streets. But, you're talking kind of crazy with this federal immunity for officers thing. So now we're looking at you a little skeptical. A lot of black people will look saying, I would vote for Donald Trump. A lot of black people want to vote for Donald Trump. I'm just going to keep it a buck. But a lot of black people are now looking at you a little skeptical because, you're over here talking about you want to give officers federal immunity. Now, we can't let that happen, Donald Trump. Come on now. We can't rock with you if you're doing that. You're going to give officers federal immunity, the same officers that killed Sonia Massey, you're going to give them federal immunity? Is that what you're telling me, Donald Trump? Don't make us vote for Kamala, man. It'll hurt our souls to vote for that Indian woman cosplaying as a black woman. But if you're going to give, officers federal immunity for deleting black citizens in the streets, we may have to reconsider. Now, listen, I'm on neither side of the fence. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I'm calling this thing down the middle. Black people were rocking with Trump. We were rocking with Trump heavy. But then when we heard that federal immunity for officers, we started feeling, whoa, you're going a little too far here. You're talking a little crazy with this federal immunity stuff, Let's get back into it, though.
I just want to say you're a true hero for this country, and I really appreciate you. And
A true hero for this country. Get off your knees, Adin Ross. Have some respect for yourself. Wipe the man sauce off your lips, Adin Ross. You're a true hero to your country. We respect you. And get off your knees. Get off your knees. Let's continue.
yeah, I'm really thrilled we could do this today.
I'm so happy now that I'm doing it.
Okay, Adin, you've been telling him thank you for doing this. You're thrilled you can do this. Okay, man, can you get to the questions now? Get off your knees, wipe off your lips, pull yourself together, put your bra back on, put your panties back on, put your business suit back on, put your MAGA hat back on, and conduct an interview. What's going on here, man? You've been on your knees thanking him for the last 2 minutes now. Stop thanking him and ask some questions.
Give me a. That's great.
Do you know what live streaming is on these platforms?
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
More or less. It's the new wave.
It's the new wave. I'm gonna.
He's a president, Adin. Of course he knows what a live stream is. He's done live stream events. He's the damn president. He's live streamed on news cameras. He's live streamed from the White House. Ask some damn questions already.
Explain it to you, all right? So I'm gonna show you this chat right now. Let me show you this. So this is the live chat. So you already broke the website.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, you broke it. The chat wasn't working.
Are you really gonna explain to Donald Trump what Twitch is or what Rumble is? Like, come on, bro. Can you just get to the damn questions? We all know that senior citizens hate computers. Donald Trump is a senior citizen. Senior citizens hate computers. They don't want you to break down the computer. Oh, this is the live chat. This is where we talk. This is where you can put your emojis. He ain't trying to hear all that. He's a baby boomer. He don't want to hear you break down this complex computer stuff. He wants you to get to the damn questions already. Well, come on.
But we ended up fixing it. It's just very slow. Everyone in the chat say hello. You guys can put hi in the chat. And W's mean it's good. W means win. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, my goodness, man.
W's and stuff.
We really got to sit through this man breaking down a live stream to a 70-plus-year-old man. This is ridiculous. Like I said, we all know senior citizens don't want nobody to break down the computer to them. Anybody got any, baby boomer parents? Anybody got any baby boomer parents? You know they hate. They hate to do things on their cell phones, to do things on their laptop. They gotta call their sons, or they gotta call their daughters. Can you help me? Help me with my cell phone. Can you help me with my laptop? Senior citizens don't want you to break down that stuff. They just want to go through the motion. Go through the motion. Let's just go. Let's do it. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing.
Trump. All right. So, yeah, everyone is just super thrilled.
You're gonna have big ratings today. I can see it.
Yeah, I want to break 1 million. I think we could do it.
Oh, good. Oh, you'd do much more.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm thrilled. Elon actually already he commented on the X post that I went live already.
Well, Elon is a great guy.
Yeah, he's great.
He's really a fantastic person. Little imagination he's got, doesn't he?
yeah.
Rockets and tunnels and everything. He's a fantastic guy.
He's great. So let's get started today. Let's have some fun.
Oh, about damn time, man. Adin, get off your knees, bro. Get yourself some knee pads, Adin Ross. Get yourself some knee pads. You've been on your knees for the last 2 minutes, thanking the former president. Like I said, please wipe off your lips. Get the man sauce off your lips and conduct this interview. Pull yourself together for the good of the country. Let's continue.
We'll touch base on some topics, and then we'll do some fun stuff.
Sounds good.
Cool? Let's have a good time. All right, well, the first thing is, the reason why, I really wanted to make this stream happen is because there's a lot of people that are first-time voters watching today. And I want to make it very clear.
Do we have any first-time voters in here? I'm looking at the stream. Do we have any first-time voters in here? Anybody that's going to be voting for the first time? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Let's continue.
You're a human being. You're a great human being. And I want you to basically talk in this camera, talk to them and explain why it's very important as a first-time voter to go out and vote and why they should vote for you.
It should be good. Let's hear what Donald Trump wants to say to first-time voter. That's a good question, Adin. That's a good question. That's the first good thing, I'm happy you finally got off your knees. Finally took your kneecaps. I finally took your knee pads off. Wiped off your lips, and finally asked a good question. Finally. Okay, let's get to it.
I'd love to do that, and I love having a young audience. This is young. I think you have some oldsters too, because I also know some oldsters that are listening and watching. But it's about the American dream. Right now, you don't have the American dream. We have a country that's not respected, a country that's
Sure.
being laughed at, a country that just a little while ago we're having a stock market explosion in a negative way as opposed to a positive way.
Now, let me get into that. Today, you know, everybody was talking about the stock market plummeting today. Economy is not looking It's not looking good. This is going to be an uphill battle for Kamala Harris. I was about to call her Kamala Trump for some reason. It's going to be an uphill battle if the stock market continues to look bad and it keeps plummeting. This is not going to look good for Kamala. Yeah, but the stock market is looking bad. It was looking bad today. Let's continue though.
And that's been happening for quite a while. It's been simmering and really happening for quite a while. And we're going to make this country so strong and so great. And when you're ready for your job, you're going to get a great job, so you can make the kind of money this guy's making, maybe even more if that's possible. Right?
I'm trying to get like you, boss.
But you'll love your life and you'll be successful. And at a young age, it's really wonderful to think about the American dream. And with Kamala and Joe, I took him out. We had a debate.
He did. He took out Jim Crow Joe. Listen, give Trump his props. He laid down Old Yeller. He sent him off to greener pastures. Jim Crow Joe, Benadryl Joe, NyQuil Joe, Dayquil Joe, nighttime and daytime cough Joe. He did send them off to greener pastures. That's a fact. Let's continue.
And the debate didn't go so well for him. And they sort of, what they did, it was really a coup of somebody. He had 14 million votes. He had it. And all of a sudden, they went to him and they said, "We don't want you running anymore." It's sort of like a prize fight from my standpoint. You're focused on this one.
That's a fact. I mean, the Democrats, they said they had enough of him. Essentially, the Democrats collectively came together and they kicked him out the White House. Let's be real about it. The Democrats collectively said they want him out of there. That's a fact.
And all
That's
of a
fact.
sudden, you're fighting somebody else. But she's actually worse than he is. And you're starting to see that. I think people are going to see that. It's going to be very evident. So go out. We want the American dream. We're going to give you the American dream, and you're going to be real happy. Thank you.
I have another question. And again,
now, I'm going to be honest with you. Donald J. Trump, I'm a black man. I'm a black voter. You didn't say a lot of things that I wanted to hear. You talked about the American dream. I got to be honest with you. The American dream is deceased. No longer exists. The American dream is gone, Donald Trump. Let's be honest here. You didn't rejuvenate me to vote for you. Now I know I'm not gonna hear the things that I want to hear when I'm hearing you speak. I know I'm not gonna hear nothing about reparations. I'm not going to hear nothing about a hate crime bill. I'm not going to hear about, building infrastructure in the neighborhoods. But you could have at least talked to those black people that, that feel passionate about you. You could have talked about the stimmies. You could have talked about the PPP loans. And you could have talked about how you wanted to feed the streets again. A lot of black people would have been riding with you. So I mean, you didn't really woo me with your speech of why young people should be voting for you. You didn't really woo me, but let's continue.
Mr. President, I'm not really fully into politics, but I'm getting there, and I do want to make this very clear as well. Now that it's on my mind. Back when I was I went to high school in California, okay, and a lot of the teachers were basically at the time, this is your first term. They were telling me how horrible of a person you are and all these things, and the teachers, you're not supposed to do that. It's inappropriate.
Well, let's be honest, man. I mean, Donald Trump is the epitome of capitalism. Donald Trump is the epitome of a capitalism. But the reality is America is built off capitalism. So I'm gonna be honest with you, America, and he's talking about his teachers. His teachers were probably bra burning, Democrat loving, liberal bootlicking, pronoun using Americans. And, you know, they had this type of rhetoric, but the reality is America is built off of capitalism. So if you don't like Donald Trump, you don't like American capitalism, because he's the epitome of American capitalism. So America, you're staring in the face the epitome of American capitalism. If you don't like Donald Trump, you don't like yourself. You don't like your country. Because he represents what America is, American capitalism. That's what America is. That's what our country is based on, capitalism. So if you have a problem with him, then you have a problem with this country.
Appropriate to have teachers, you know, discuss politics in school, but it's becoming really normal for a lot of teachers. You know, and you're a kid. You know, when you're a kid, your brain is like a sponge. Sure, that's true. So I want to know what your thoughts on that. You know, kind of the corruption in the school system in a way. You know, they're teaching some pretty bad stuff in there.
It's been brainwashed to a certain extent. Even the teachers have been brainwashed. They've learned from a long time. This is long before me. This liberal way, or now they call it progressive.
I have to agree with him. I agree. I agree. The school system is corrupt. A lot of those teachers, I'm just going to keep it a buck. A lot of those teachers in those schools, they are corrupt. Especially when it comes to black students. They want to put black students in special ed classes, call them remedial, when in all reality, you're just trying to make money off of black students that that you're too lazy to teach, that you're too incompetent to teach. And you're calling these black students, oh, they're remedial, they need medication, they just don't know. No, maybe you're just lazy. Maybe we need better teachers in here. You're demanding better pay, but you're not the better teacher. You're a horrible teacher. You know? So yeah, you know, the school system is a broken system. I mean, if anything, the American school system, public school system, that is, it teaches kid. It's like the school to prison pipeline, if you ask me. The way it's set up, the way it's modeled. Y'all ever saw those memes where they're comparing prison to school? It's depressing. Let's get back into this. Let's get back into it.
If they don't like the term liberal, you're not allowed to use that anymore, so I usually use it. But this liberal way that they have, and it's a bad thing for the country.
Somebody said, let's blame Republicans for that. I agree. We can't blame Republicans. Listen, I'm here to kick in everybody's back. We can blame the Republicans. Reaganomics. Trickle-down economics. That nobody benefits from but the 1%. Tax cuts for, tax cuts in the community. Oh, we don't need a music program. We don't need that. We could kick in the backs of the conservative right wing. We could do that. But let's be honest here. I'm a black man. I'm talking to my demographic. I'm talking to my community. We've been voting for Democrats for over 50 years. All of our cities are ran by Democratic mayors. Most of our states that we are, majority in are ran by, black, well, not black governors, but black, most of these black cities are ran by by black mayors. And they haven't been doing a good job running these cities. In the school systems, and the crime, all of the things that have been happening, they haven't been doing it. And a lot of them have been democratically ran. Black people haven't been voting for Republicans for 50 years. So I have to kick in the backs of the Democratic left. I have to. I'm sorry.
We want to have borders. We want to have low taxes. We want to have great schools, really, great schools, so you can go and learn and be successful and have a wonderful life and all of that. But we want to have a good military so we can protect ourselves,
of course,
from some bad players. You got some bad players out there. And, it's interesting. During my 4 years, we had no war. Other than we had nothing. Everybody was afraid we were going to have wars. And just the opposite. North Korea, I remember Barack Obama was telling me, the biggest problem we have is North Korea. I didn't have a problem with North Korea.
No.
Big nuclear presence. I didn't have a problem. The only war we had was already started long ago, and that was ISIS, and I defeated them in a...
Okay, that's a lie. I'm sorry, Donald Trump, but you're lying. You did not defeat ISIS. That's a lie. You dropped a couple bombs. You did not defeat ISIS collectively, Donald Trump. That's not true. Sounds good, but it's not true.
Very short.
I remember.
Very quickly. And we had no wars under the Trump administration, and that's a great thing. That's a really great thing. It was, I think, 82 years since that's happened. And we won't have wars again, but we could have a war before.
We won't have wars again. Donald Trump, stop lying to the American public. China is circling around Taiwan. Russia isn't letting up. Hamas isn't letting up. What are you talking about? Stop lying to the American people. All signs are pointing to a war. Will C. Will C says, do your research before you blurt out lies. Well, listen, sit in my block party. Welcome to the block party, Will C. Go get me some barbecue potato chips and some chicken wings. Welcome to the block party, Will C. Back to business.
Before we even get there, that's the problem. We have a number of months. We have 4 months, and the election's starting very soon, and I guess 5 months before you actually get in. And a lot of damage can be done in 5 months by incompetent people. We have very incompetent people right now.
That's a fact. We got a lot of incompetent people running this country. From the top to the bottom. They're shutting down the government every 5 weeks. Inflation running rampant. Supreme Court justices doing whatever they damn well please. It's lunacy. This country is being ran by crooks. If you're going to throw Trump in jail, please throw all of them in jail, including Kamala Koala Bear, the Prince of Camelot, Chameleon Harris. If you're going to put Trump in jail, she needs to be in the bottom bunk right next to him. They're all crooks. If you ask me, let's get back into it, though.
I'm not saying that out of happiness. I'm saying that out of sadness, because our country's in tremendous danger, not only of stock market crashes or depressions or whatever it may be. It's a tremendous military danger. We have Israel's blowing up. The Middle East is blowing up. Russia's going wild with Ukraine. and things are out of control, and we have nobody that knows how to talk. We have nobody that knows. I was watching what
He's not lying though. I agree what he's saying. I agree.
Russia was thinking about going in, and they never would have done it with me. They never, and they didn't.
Now I gotta stop Donald Trump right here. He keeps saying, "Oh, when I was in office, they would have never did this. They would have never did that." Donald Trump. We did not forget when you was in office, and that's when you was in office. They said that a spy balloon, a Chinese spy balloon, flew over the country at least 4 or 5 times. You did nothing. At least Joe Biden shot down the spy balloon. When you was in office, it was flying over the country for 4 years and you did nothing. So let's be honest here. When you was in office, you know, the Chinese, they was flying over balloons over the country. God knows what information they collected. Nuclear testing sites that they were scanning, aerial strikes that they could maneuver on, military information that they were watching. They flew over the country 4 times under your watch and you didn't do anything, Donald Trump. We didn't forget that. Frank says that's something that's new to me. Yeah, man. That's the Chinese spy balloon. It flew over the country at least 4 or 5 times underneath Donald Trump's watch. That wasn't the first time that spy balloon flew over the country. It flew over at least 4 or 5 times. Donald Trump never shot it down. You know? But let's get back into it. You know?
But they never, after I got in, they started loading up the border. I thought he was doing it for negotiation purposes. And Biden said all of the wrong things, everything wrong. And ultimately they attacked, and they wouldn't have done that if I were president. So we got to get back in and get it straightened out.
Trump loves saying that. They wouldn't have done this. They wouldn't have done that. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do think that countries respected the United States when Trump was in office. I do think that the other countries respected the United States when he was in office. Other than Biden, because I don't think they have no respect for Biden. But to say they wouldn't do this, they wouldn't do that, I'm not too sure about that, Trump. I got to be honest. I'm not too sure about that.
We'll get that one worked out.
100%.
A lot of people dying.
Yeah, it's a lot of innocent lives being lost. You know, you had mentioned, the stock market crashing. I don't know if you obviously, I saw the post you made on your app Truth. You know, what I just saw yesterday and the day.
Hey, I'm only entertaining donors tonight. If you want to talk to me, you got something you want to say, something you want to add to the discussion, put it in the super chat. Put it in the Cash App. Get on your Cash App. If you got something to say. And hit that like button, y'all. Hit that subscribe button right now. Hold up. We're going to take some time out to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button right now.
What a thrill.
Hit that like button, y'all.
With darkness and silence through the night.
A lot of y'all are in the darkness and silence with no like button. Hit that like button. It's a thrill to be here with you, but hit that like button, know what I mean?
Searching and I'll melt into you.
A lot of y'all are searching and melting for that like button and that subscribe button. Hit that thing right now. Miguel says no. Well, guess what, Miguel? If you said no, welcome to the block party, Miguel. You don't want to hit my like button? You don't want to hit my subscribe button? Then good riddance. Welcome to the block party. Go get me some Tostitos. Don't forget the salsa.
Day before, you know, I'm in crypto and I'm in stocks myself, and I couldn't believe what's going on. You know, you have Japan, you have everybody just falling, and I want to ask you, you know, how do we basically get it back up and flowing and back up and running, and you know, and what's causing this?
Well, right now you have no confidence. You have somebody that now is taking over from Biden because he just wants to stay in bed all day. He can't get up. He wants to.
Sleepy Joe just want to stay in bed all day. NyQuil Joe, Dayquil Joe, Benadryl Joe, nighttime and daytime cough Joe. My office hours are from 10 to 4. You gotta think how much of a lazy sack of excrement Joe Biden is. I'm sorry. 10 to 4? Most people work 9 to 5. Actually, in this economy, most people got 2 or 3 damn jobs trying to stay afloat. Jim Crow Joe, he go to sleep by 4 o'clock p.m. Jim Crow Joe, he give himself a little ice cream cone. Probably pour a little bit of NyQuil on that ice cream cone. Couple Benadryls in there. You know? He fall right asleep, you know. Jill probably tucks him in. Reads him a bedtime story. He got on his pajamas, you know, he's sucking his thumb, you know, he goes right on the bed. Right on the bed. Somebody said part-time president. That's a fact. Yeah, I mean, come on, 10 to 4? 10 to 4. 10 to 4, bro. That's crazy. I'm only good between 10 to 4. I mean, come on, bro. What are you sleeping for the rest of the damn day? Yeah, he needs to get out of the office, man.
Stay in bed. It was a fraud. They tried to tell people he was competent, he knew what he was doing. And in the debate, he was adjudged to be not so good.
Yeah.
But you can go back 4 years, too. You know, he campaigned from his basement. He didn't campaign. I said, where is this guy doing COVID? They used COVID as an excuse not to let him talk.
Yeah.
The whole thing was a fraud, and everybody knew it, and they knew it strongly. And we're going to get it going again. We have to get it going again. They put us in a very bad position. The worst thing is we have probably, I think, Adin, 20 million people came into our country.
20 million immigrants that have came into the country, y'all. That's alarming. That's alarming. A lot of them, listen, some of those people are good people. Some of them are just looking for a better life, better employment, a better way of living. But the reality is when you take on that many people, you're also going to have to deal with, you know, the bad apples, the gang members, the drug dealers, the sexual deviants, the criminals. They're coming over here as well. And they're pouring into our country. You know, I mean, listen, man, you know, somebody has to tell the truth here. Diaz is laughing at the 20 million. Listen, I don't know if Trump is off with with that number. I don't know if that number is legitimate. I don't know if it's exactly 20 million. That's a lot of people. It's a lot of people, but I mean, we know that immigrants are pouring into the country. That's a fact. I don't know about that 20 million mark. Maybe he means collectively over the last 3.5 years. Maybe he means collectively. Maybe that might make sense collectively over 3.5 years.
With open borders, and many come from prisons, and you can be a liberal and your people can be, but coming from some of the meanest prisons all over the world, not just South America, from all over the world.
That's a fact, all over the world. This is not just about, the beautiful people of Mexico. Great people out there. We're taking on immigrants from everywhere. We're taking on the undesirables from everywhere. And it's hurting our country.
From the Congo and Africa, they come from all over the world. They're coming, and they're releasing their prisoners into the United States. Now, you can be a liberal guy, you can be progressive as anybody in the world, and you can't think that's a positive thing. No. They're coming out of mental institutions. They're pouring into the United States, and they're hurting and damaging our country, and they're killing our people. And the crime rate with what you're talking about and what we're talking about, we call it migrant crime. It's a new form of crime, and it's a very violent crime.
Now, I have to speak about migrant crime because a lot of liberals, they are trying to suppress what is happening with the migrant crimes because it is absolutely happening. The liberals are trying to suppress migrant crimes. They're trying to sweep it underneath the rug. Oh, it doesn't exist. They commit crime just like American people. No. Let's take some time to talk about it. Now listen, there's some great people that have came over here from Venezuela. But let me just talk about this one case in point. Venezuelan gang members have been pouring into New York City. In one incident, a Venezuelan gang member shot at police officers. He was captured. His reasoning for shooting at police officers. His reasoning. This was his direct quote. He said that it's normal in our country to shoot at police officers. It's normal to shoot at police officers in his country. Second to nature. That's what happened in New York about 2 months ago. And this is happening in a lot of sanctuary cities. The liberals are trying to sweep it underneath the rug. They're trying to act like it doesn't exist. Migrant crimes are happening. And just to talk about, immigration, let me just tell you what the political left are trying to do by allowing, all these immigrants to flood into our country. Let me tell you the motive and the agenda and what they're trying to do. And this directly affects the black vote, and it even affects the white vote to an extent. The Democrats are trying to create an immigrant class that they could use every election season They realize that black people are tired. They realize that black people have had enough of the Democrats. They realize that black people have woken up and said, the Democrats, they're not doing anything for us. They're not fighting for us. They're not pushing our agendas. We're tired of them. We're not voting for them anymore. And the Democrats cooked up a scheme. Let's pour in immigrants into this country, incentivize them, by putting them up in fancy high-rise hotels, giving them credit cards, and let's try to give them the right to vote. So we can create another class of people that will vote for us for the next 50 years. That's what the Democrats have cooked up. That's what the Democrats were working on. That's what they're trying to work on. That's what they're trying to suppress the black vote. It's obvious. It's obvious that they're trying to suppress the black vote. They're even trying to suppress the the legal Hispanic vote. Those those that are legal here, that have been here for 4, 5, 6 generations, who have went through the process of becoming a naturalized citizen. They're trying to suppress their vote as well.
And it's going to take on proportions the likes of which this country has never seen before. And remember, these people are just getting accustomed. These are people coming out of mental institutions, prisons and jails, and many terrorists. We're having record numbers of terrorists coming in. So I'm talking, I assume, mostly to a young audience, but a young audience, no matter where they're coming from, they can't be happy about this.
No, they can't. Jobs are being taken, a lot of crime. Fix that issue. What if I happen to be born in another country and I want to come the right way? How would that work?
Well, that's
and let me say something about immigration as well. This is the reality of America. And this is the reality of anywhere in the world, whether it be Dubai, whether it be Russia, China. The reality of the situation is, bro, we all can't go. I don't care where you are in the world right now and you're watching this, we all can't go. We all can't go to Dubai. We all can't go to China. We all can't go to Russia. And when it comes to America, we all can't go to America. Everybody can't come here. No other country in the world operates like that. But us. The American citizens need to be put first. No.
Well, we want people to come in, but they have to come in through a system, through a legal system. And, one of the things that's unfair is we have hundreds of thousands of people that have applied to come in, and this administration doesn't talk to them.
Right.
But if they walk through the southern border, they have no problem getting in. I don't even know why they're doing this, but some people are waiting 10 years to come in, and they've studied, they learned all about the United States, about our Constitution, about everything, and they're not being let in, and we're allowing people to come in from really rough places, really bad.
Really rough places. Nasty places.
And they come in through caravans, and these caravans have 10, 20, 30,000 people. And they're pouring through Mexico.
That's crazy.
And Mexico was great when I was there. They were helping us. I had stay in Mexico. You can imagine what that is. That means you have to stay in Mexico. You can't come into this country until we approve you. They gave it up. Now they just walk right in. Wow. They had catch and release. We had catch and release. That's you catch a criminal and you release them into our country. I said, no.
Yeah, that's one of the most craziest things that they have allowed to happen. Catch and release. You catch them, then you release them in our country. What type of nonsense is that? Black people. If there's anybody black in here, how many times have the police catched and released you? I mean, come on now. Let's take it off of black. How about just a citizen? When you're an American citizen, you break the law. You already know you got to go through the process. You mean to tell me these people are breaking the law and being released after they committed a crime? catch and release, catch and release. It needs to be catch and deport, catch and deport. Or catch, have them serve time, then deport. Catch them, send them to prison, have them make license plates for the next couple of years. Then give them a one-way ticket back to their country. That's what should be happening. Somebody said you don't understand the border. I understand the border. Under the Biden and Kamala Harris administration, you know what the border looks like? The border is held together by a Dollar Tree door and Scotch tape. The border is held together by Dollar Tree doors, Scotch tape, and chewing gum. You know? That's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it, though. Let's get back into it.
No. We catch a criminal and we release him into Mexico. I think you feel better about that.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
You know, it's one of those things. There's so many things. They are so bad. It's like amateur night. It's either amateur night or they want to destroy our country.
Right. Do you what do you think about what's going on in Venezuela? The whole situation out there.
Well, I know it very well. And Venezuela is right now being run by a dictator. We were enemies with Venezuela. Venezuela was going to collapse, and people could have gone back to Venezuela.
And that's what I'm talking about. You know, Venezuela, like, you know, all of these different countries, you know, they're pouring in, you know, certain gang members. I just talked to y'all about the Venezuelan gangs in New York. That's a real thing. Venezuelan gangs in New York shooting at police officers. One of the young men testified and said, "This is what we do in our country. We shoot at police officers." And we're letting them into our country. We're putting them up in high-rise hotels, credit cards. You got even some Democrats are even saying, "Hey, open up your house to the immigrants. Open up your house to the immigrants. Let them in your house. Let them sleep on your couch. You know, let them go on your fridge and take out a hot pocket and warm it up in the microwave. Open up your home to them." But they're not opening up the penthouse to them. They're not opening up their duplex apartment to them. But they want you to open up your apartment to them. Lunacy. But yeah, some New York politicians even suggested that. They suggested that New York citizens should open up their homes to the immigrants. Lunacy. Some of these politicians, they live in duplexes, they live in, condos. Why are they not opening up their living spaces to the immigrants? You got that high-rise apartment in Manhattan. You got all that space. Most people living in New York, they're living in a small closet. But you got this big old duplex down in Manhattan. And you want me to open up my house? People should be outraged.
In our country now, they've released tremendous numbers of criminals into our country. If you look at Caracas, it was known for being a very dangerous city, and now it's very safe. In fact, the next interview we'll do.
Josh R. says Eric Adams suggested that. Yeah, he did suggest that. He absolutely did suggest that. And people living in New York should feel disrespected. They should feel like, they got somebody spit in their face. How dare you suggest that? People should be outraged. People should be outraged at that. No question.
Do it in Caracas, Venezuela, because it's safer than many of our cities after they've released their criminals into all of our cities.
Yeah.
And I'm kidding.
I know.
The reason I have to say that because the fake news media knows that too. But they'll say he suggested they go to Venezuela. They are so bad it's hard to believe. But anyway, so Venezuela, their crime is down 72% because they've taken their criminal elements.
I've heard this before.
Large. It was a very dangerous place, especially Caracas and the different cities.
Donald Trump has been suggesting that the countries that have been sending over their less desirables, their crime has been going down because they're sending all their criminals here. He suggested that a few times. And listen, I don't think it's a bad theory. I don't think it's a bad theory. I don't think it's a theory that he's lying about. It makes sense to me. It makes sense. It makes sense to me.
And they've moved him into the United States of America. I know you're very happy. I know that your mother and father must be thrilled when they hear that.
Yeah.
Who happen to be here, I believe.
They are. They're right over there. Hey, Mom. Hey, Dad.
Are you thrilled with what they're doing? I don't think so. No. I don't think they're thrilled. I don't think so. So their crime rate is down 72%.
Right.
Because they're drug dealers, they're criminals, they're murderers, they're rapists. Everything's being moved into the United States. And soon they will have moved all of their criminals into the U.S. They won't have crime. So that's why I say we'll go to Venezuela for our next interview. Okay.
He has a point. He has a point.
Honestly,
he has a point. He has a point. He has a point.
What they're doing to this country, they're destroying our country, Adin. They're destroying stupid people. He's not a smart man. He wasn't smart 35 years ago. He wasn't smart 20 years ago. And now he's really not smart.
No.
And you say,
I agree with that. I agree with that. Joe Biden was a part of that bill in the 90s that locked up and incarcerated a lot of black men. That gave a lot of black men higher charges than their white counterparts. He was a part of that. You know? He's a part, he's the reason for this inflation. How smart is Joe Biden really? He's a part of all of that. He's a part of all of that. So he has to be held responsible. He's a part of that. He's a part of that Obama administration as well. They dropped a lot of bombs, with them drones, man. A lot of innocent people was in the crosshairs. A lot of innocent people.
saw that from the debate. I mean, he's really gone down the tubes. And she couldn't even pass her law exam. She couldn't pass her bar exam. And I'm not saying that because I know other people didn't pass their bar exam.
Hey, keep hitting that voting. Keep hitting that vote button. Who are you voting for? Kamala Harris? Koala Bear Harris? The Prince of Camelot? Come a chameleon? Or you're voting for Dennis the Menace? Donald Trump? Who you're rocking with? Keep voting. Keep voting. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Let's continue.
But she thought she'd never be able to pass it. And this is who we have running our country. It's a shame. She's ultra-left, ultra-radical. I just see where 99 vicious terrorists, when she was, I guess, Attorney General, because she was Attorney General of California, she destroyed California. Her policies have destroyed California. Her policies, when she was the district attorney, have destroyed San Francisco. San Francisco was the...
Let me stop right there. Can we just talk about Kamala Harris being a prosecutor for a little bit? Just for a little bit. Not too long. Just for a little bit. This woman locked up a lot of black men. A lot of black men she locked up, threw away the key. Are we supposed to unsee that? Here you have a supposed black woman, or at least calling herself a black woman, tap dancing for the black vote, But she locked up a lot of your brothers and sisters. Gave them higher charges than their white counterparts. And let's really talk about the job of a prosecutor. The job of a prosecutor is to hammer home the charges and get a conviction. That's their job. Hammer home charges and get a conviction. Their job is to get a conviction. Whether there's reasonable doubt, whether there's a lack of evidence, they are taught to get the conviction. With no remorse, no humanity, no empathy. That was Kamala Harris's job. Is that somebody you really want running the country? Is that somebody you want fighting for black people? Let's be honest here. I mean that happened. She was a prosecutor. She was locking black men up right and left, throwing away the key. Talk about throwing the book at somebody. She threw the whole bookshelf. How do those black men feel that were, in a court case with her? And there was a lack of evidence. There was reasonable doubt. They didn't commit the crime. How do you think they feel right now? A lot of those black men that are in those jail cells, counting down the minutes, seconds, hours, days, weeks, months, years, decades. How do you think they feel about Kamala Harris cackling? She's always cackling.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
But how do you think they feel? How do y'all think they feel? She locked a lot of black people up, a lot of black men, a lot of black women, a lot of innocent men. It was probably a lack of evidence. There was reasonable doubt. Maybe they didn't do it. A lot of times, maybe somebody may have robbed the bank. Somebody probably sold some drugs. Nobody got hurt. Nobody got injured. Nobody, lost their lives. It was a crime because this person fell on hard times. And I'm not saying they deserve a slap on the wrist, but she hammered home the charges. She bloviated the charges, inflated the charges. Oh, when those black men that came in those courtrooms, they walked in there with a public defender. Kamala Harris laughed at those black men. She probably started cackling, the cackling cow. She had no empathy. She had no humanity. This is the woman you want running the country? This is the woman you think that I'm supposed to believe cares about the American people, the American public? A prosecutor with no soul, no empathy, no morality. This is who you want us to believe in? I'm just saying.
The best city in our country 20 years ago, and now it's, not even, frankly, it's not even livable. We have to bring our cities back. We're gonna have to focus on bringing our cities back.
It's actually really sad. I lived in California for a long time. Even Los Angeles, it's not safe. It's not safe. Everyone I know that lives in multi-million-dollar, homes.
Jason says, "Go find a black job." Jason, go find a barbecue, because welcome to the block party. You're in the bar. I'm sending you to the block party, so go find a barbecue, all right? I'm sending you to the block party, Jason. We need turkey, hamburgers, We need some ketchup and mayonnaise, buns, and Kool-Aid. We need red fruit punch Kool-Aid. Welcome to the block party, Jason. Let's get back into it. Let's get back into it.
That do what I do, content. They're getting robbed. They're getting robbed. The police don't really, they're not active out there as they are in some other states, and it's really sad. And I agree. I saw a video in San Francisco where people just walk into a Louis Vuitton and an Apple store and just loot, and leave like nothing ever happened. It's crazy.
They loot, and not only that, they have like $1,000 or $1,500 where she started, where she won't even prosecute if it's less than $1,500.
Wow.
So you see these people go in with like calculators, and they're adding the stuff that they're stealing because they won't be prosecuted. So that if they get nabbed, they say, no, it's less than whatever it is, $1,000.
Right.
And she's
See, this is why you shouldn't let colonizers in hip hop. Adin Ross is talking about, potentially black looters looting like, high-end stores. Let's talk a little bit about looting. I find it interesting that, the white dominant society talks about looting. I find it very interesting. But, they never talk about shoplifting. And who is the biggest culprits of shoplifting? I'll tell you who the biggest culprit of shoplifting. This is a fact. You can look this up. The biggest culprit of shoplifting is who? Middle-aged white women. So I find it funny that you got a Anglo-Saxon Donald Trump and a European Jewish man. Underlying talking about black looters, running in high-end stores. But why don't we ever talk about white women, middle-aged white women, looting stores around America? Slipping, some makeup, underneath the double D bra. Slipping a bag of coffee up the cooter. Why don't we talk about that? Is that not a form of looting? That's a form of looting to me. I'm just saying, listen. They were talking about looters. And let's be honest, when people talk about looters, they're talking about black people, right? Right? Now listen, does looting happen? Yes. But people don't loot every day. Every day is not a day people loot. It may happen like, 4 or 5 times out of a year. But it's not an everyday thing. Middle-aged white women, they shoplift every day. Slip a little bit of makeup underneath the bra, a little coffee mug in the purse. Is that not a form of looting? I mean, am I off basis here? Am I off basis here? I mean, I don't think I'm off basis here. That's a form of looting. So, I mean, when you're talking about, looters and you're trying to point fingers at black people, listen, I could point fingers too. And it's going to point me at some middle-aged white women smuggling goods in the purse. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to be fair.
He started the concept of that, and it's now spreading. Our country, we need strong leadership. We didn't have stuff like this. when you look at what's happened to this country and you look at other countries, crime rates all over the world are down. You know why? Because they're all dumping their bad people, their prisoners, and all of the people that are bad. They're not only.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I agree with Trump, though. I agree with Trump. They are dumping their undesirables in America. That's a fact. That's not off basis here. They are dumping. Somebody just said moon crickets. We're getting you out of here. Hold on. We're sending you to the block. We're sending you to the block party. All right. Hold on. Block party for you, bro. You talking crazy. Oh, Sinclair took care of him. All right, bet. Yeah. You talking crazy in here, man. You better have some respect, man. If it ain't got no respect, then we're sending you to the block party. We're sending you to the block party. Go pick up some shrimps. Go pick up some steaks. Go pick up some fruit punch Kool-Aid. A couple of Poland Spring waters. Watermelon. Let's continue.
The people on the streets, the people that are in jails, you know what they save by doing that? But they're dumping their prisoners and their criminal elements. They're dumping them into the United States of America. And our crime is going to go through the roof. It's going to go through the roof. And, if we win, and I hope we win, we should win, we seem to be winning. And, you can't even imagine that anybody would want these. This has nothing to do with me. Who would want these people? But can you imagine? They're just getting comfortable now, and they're criminals.
And let me talk about what Trump just said here. He said that these people are comfortable. He's talking about Kamala Harris and Donald Trump and the political left. And I agree with that statement. They are comfortable. Kamala Harris is comfortable. The fact that she said this to black people in 2019.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
That tells me all I need to know about the Democratic left and Kamala Harris. It tells me a lot. It tells me a lot of why they decided to let Meg Thee Stallion shake her little ass on the rally stage. It shows me a tone-deaf party that are comfortable. They don't feel like they have to do anything for black people. They don't have to, work our agendas, talk to our issues and problems. All they have to do is put Meg Thee Stallion in a G-string and shake her behind. It's not about doing work anymore. We're not going to do anything for you guys. You know that. And black people are waking up, Black people are waking up. They're seeing through the Democratic tactics. And listen, I understand. A lot of y'all be like, man, you're a Trump supporter. You're always talking about the political left. But I have to keep saying this to you guys because the reality of it is black people haven't been voting for the conservative right wing for 50 years. We have been voting for the Democratic left. They're the ones in our neighborhoods. They're the ones that are our mayors in our cities. So if we're looking for somebody to blame, we gotta look at the Democrats. That's just the fact of it.
So they're sort of laying low a little bit now because they're not comfortable. But soon they'll be comfortable, and they'll find that our police they're great.
Yeah.
But they're not allowed to do their job. They're not allowed to be strong, and they could do their job if they were let. But if they do their job, they have their pension knocked out. They have their car taken away, their family taken away, their house taken away. Everything's taken away, and they lose their job. It's a very rough thing being a policeman today, I'll tell you. But they could do the job. We're going to have to let them do their job.
I disagree. It's not a tough job being an officer. You get some donuts. You pull over a black person. Give him a ticket. Drive around some more. Play with your nightstick. You know, look at some cars where the tags are expired. How hard is it to be a police officer? Stop acting like police officers are dealing with action 24/7, 7 days a week. Listen, I live in Long Island. These officers in listen, I don't live in, Detroit or any of these places where a lot of crime is. I live in Long Island. These officers, they ain't doing squat. These officers ain't doing squat. Absolutely nothing. Now, if you're in New York City, I have a little bit more respect because I'm sure it's a lot of crime going on in the city. But to say every single cop around the United States has a hard job, that's not entirely true. Let's continue, though.
Crime infested nation. We're a drug addicted nation and we're a crime infested nation. Other than that, we're doing quite well.
Yeah. I want to move topics a little bit here. I saw, I'm unfamiliar with exactly what it was called. You were speaking on stage with 3 other women, and you just got ambushed. They were late, and not a hi, hello.
He's talking about the 3 sister girls. The Democratic attack dogs. The liberal boot-licking attack dogs that were at the National Association of Black Journalists. They definitely ambushed them. I'll agree on that.
Hello, how are you? Just straight into it, just straight trying to rip you apart. And I think you handled it pretty well, but I wanted to ask you a question, like, why do you think, like, they just straight up do that for you? But
what did Kanye call them? Kanye called them, Kanye has a word. He calls them the BLM officers. Don't call your BLM officers on me. BLM officers is crazy. Yeah, they were bootlicking attack dogs for the Democratic left. They tried to ambush him. He pretty much sunned all of them. He sunned them. He handled it pretty well.
Then they're going to ask the other side, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
That's right. Well, I did this as a favor. This was the black journalists. The room had maybe 2,000. It said 2,000. It looked more like 1,000 to me.
I'm sure he's going to talk about how they conducted the interview on CP time. They didn't exactly start on time. They told the president, we're going to start the interview around 3 p.m. It turned into 3:45. 3:45 turned into 4:05. And then when they start the interview, they got all this sister girl energy, BLM attack dog energy, Democratic, bootlicking energy. And Donald Trump was a little thrown off by it. He was a little thrown off by it.
Whatever it was back.
Yeah.
And I did it because I thought it was a good thing to do. And they had a journalist, I didn't know who she was, but she was nasty. She was a terrible person. And I walk in, and instead of saying, hello, thank you very much for doing this, they also said, Kamala's going to do it. But then Kamala said, she wants to do it.
Yeah, why nobody's talking about that? Kamala Harris was supposed to be there at the National Black Association journalist interview as well. Why wasn't she there? And it goes back to what I said. Look how comfortable this woman is. They're criticizing Trump. They gave Trump all this smoke for sitting down with these black women and conducting an interview. He had enough respect to show up, conduct the interview, not walk out, and did the interview anyway. But Kamala Harris doesn't even show up. How disrespectful is? Why nobody's talking about that? I mean, at least Trump showed up. At least Trump had enough respect for the National Black Association of journalists to sit down and talk with them and conduct the interview. Kamala Harris didn't even have a respect to show up. Are you that busy, sister girl? I was watching Fox News today. You're gonna call me a real conservative now. You was watching what? I was watching Fox News. And somebody called Kamala Harris the pantsuit messiah. They called her the pantsuit messiah. That's crazy. Who y'all think got more suits? Steve Harvey or Kamala Harris? Who got more pantsuits? Steve Harvey or Kamala Harris? Who y'all think got more pantsuits? Kamala Harris or Steve Harvey? I'm putting that in the chat. Hold on, yo. Hold on. we Yo, nah. I'm putting that in the we gotta vote. Nah. That who got more pantsuits? Steve Harvey or Kamala Harris? I need to know. I'm putting that in the vote. We gotta vote on that. Y'all, wait. Let me make the vote. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. I'm putting that in the chat. I'm ending that poll. We're starting a new one. Hold on. Who has more pantsuits? Hold on. Kamala. Who has more pantsuits? There you go. Who has more pantsuits? Let me know right now. Who has more pantsuits? Who has more pantsuits? I need to know. Who has more pantsuits? I just need to know who has more pantsuits. Kamala Harris has a lot of pantsuits. The Fox News, they called her the pantsuit messiah. And I was like, yo, Steve Harvey, he got a lot of pantsuits too. Who has more pantsuits, Steve Harvey or Kamala Harris? Let me know in the voting. Oh man, let's continue. Let's continue.
She can't talk to people. She can't answer questions. She hasn't done one interview. You know, she's not doing any interviews.
Yeah.
Because if she did one interview where a hard question's asked, she's incapable of answering it. But I walk in and this woman starts talking about, she talked about, let's get rid of the elephant in the room. And she starts talking about racism and everything. I said, you didn't even say hello to me. And I'm doing them a favor by doing this. I'm doing this at a...
He absolutely did them a favor. Let's be honest, y'all. 99.9% of us never heard of the association, the National Association of Black Journalists. He did them a favor. He conducted a respectable interview. He showed up. And they gave him criticism. The other candidate didn't even show up. Didn't even send him a voicemail on the cellular phone. But they gave Trump all that smoke. That's crazy.
Of respect to the black community. And we're getting record numbers, as you know, in the black community. And she came across, you know, she's with ABC Fake News, which is one of the worst. ABC is one of the worst.
Right.
And she is horrible. So she was very nasty. Harris Faulkner was there. She was excellent.
Kamala Harris is leading in the pantsuit war. Who has more pantsuits? Who has more pantsuits? Kamala or Steve Harvey? Somebody said Steve Harvey wore a romper before. I think I remember that. Yeah, who has more pantsuits? I want to know who got more pantsuits in that closet. Who got the pantsuits laid out?
The other person I didn't know, she was okay. I wouldn't say she was great, but she was okay. But I did it, and it was quite a sensation. Actually, a lot of people think it was well handled. The woman was so rude.
So rude.
That, you know, it's hard to believe. You can walk into a thing, and I do them a favor, and I do this. Most people said, why are you doing it? I feel I have an obligation to do it. I want to look with it. You become the president for all of the people,
Right.
not for a certain segment.
Correct.
Not even for just my, you know, they talk about my base, it's a very big base. But you become president for all of the people. So I feel you have an obligation to do that. Now, she's not doing anything. She's not doing any interviews because I don't believe she's capable. She starts...
Yeah. When is Kamala going to do an interview with a respectable publication? Because let's be honest about Trump. Say what you want about Trump. He's been in some hectic rooms. Think about it. They set that debate up for Joe Biden to win. They took the audience out. It was on, wasn't it on either CNN or ABC, one of those networks. It was either on CNN or one of those networks. It wasn't on Fox. And they took the audience out. So they pretty much, you know, tried to help Joe Biden win that one. And then Trump sits down with the National Association of Black Journalists, and they heckled him, and they were like, you know, going hard on him. He's been in rooms where, you know, he had to like really maneuver and really, you know, talk his talk. When is Kamala Harris going to be in a room full of vultures? When is Kamala Harris going to be challenged by an interviewer? We have yet to see that. All we have seen is Meg Thee Stallion and Kamala Harris twerking those doodle makers. We haven't seen her in a room conducting a respectable interview yet. When are we going to see that? When are we going to get that? I would like to see that.
The whole thing is strange. Let's put it this way. Our country's in big trouble.
Yeah. I spoke to your son, Don Jr., when I met you in Doral.
Right.
I spoke to Don Jr. a little bit. He said, man, I feel for the young generation. You guys are, look at this. Like, look what's going on here. Like, it's like you need these next 4 years. If not, I don't know how well the country's going to do after these 4 years.
I don't think it survives. I really don't.
Damn.
Look, we're going to have 20 million people in by the time this election takes place. 20 million people. That's bigger than New York State. Many of those people are people that you should not have, and we're all for everything. You know, all men are created equal, as the expression goes. Right?
Of course.
And now today they say all men and women are created equal. When they wrote that, it was a slightly.
All pronouns created equal. That's what they're gonna put in the Constitution. The Democrats. All pronouns created equal.
Today, that alone is a politically incorrect statement.
Yeah, it is.
So all men and women are created equal, everything. But the fact is,
who has more pantsuits, Steve Harvey or Kamala Harris? I'm watching the numbers. Who has more pantsuits? I need to know. I'm not even worried about the like button or who's subscribing. I want to know who got more pantsuits tonight.
when you're dumping all of these criminals and all of these drug dealers, all of these people into our country, you're really hurting our country badly. And it has to be, we have to take very strong measures.
We definitely do. We definitely do. Moving to the next. Oh.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know they were allowed to applaud.
Yeah, they're allowed to applaud. You guys can keep applauding.
All right, that's common sense, right? You know, it is about common sense. I mentioned that term because whether you're conservative, liberal, it's all about common sense.
It is.
You want to have good education. You want to have borders. You want to have low interest rates. Be able to.
I agree. He's not talking too bad right here. You know. Listen. I don't rock with neither one of the candidates. I don't rock with neither one. I'm just going to let it be known. I don't rock with neither one of the candidates. Neither one. But the reality is there's only one candidate that pledged not to do anything for the black community.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
There's only one candidate that has let this come out of their mouth.
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
And I'm a black voter. I'm sorry. As a black voter, Kamala Harris, there's no way I could vote for you. You know? I'm not going to vote for neither one. But there's not a chance in hell I would ever vote for Kamala Harris. I'm sorry. After you let this slip out of your mouth,
I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
I have no reason to vote for you then. You know? I'm just keeping it a buck.
To buy a house, you want to, so many different things. But you got to have common sense. And
I'm not sitting on any fence. Somebody said you're sitting on the fence. I'm not sitting on any fence. I am not voting. I think that this is the worst election that the American public has ever seen. I could never vote for Trump. You know why I could never vote for Trump? Trump wants to give police officers federal immunity. As a black man, that directly affects me. You mean as a black man, a cop could pull me out my car, violate my rights, and get federal immunity? I can't vote for that. I can never vote for that. So I'm not. There's no fence for me to sit on. We're gonna let this thing play out. I'm gonna continue to kick in the backs of the political left. I'm gonna say my gripe with both candidates, and we're gonna see what happens. There's no fence for me. Yeah, there's no fence for me. There's no fence for me. I'm sorry. There's no fence for me.
And we're run by people. And, just a little thing. When I started campaigning almost like 8 years ago, I talked about Merry Christmas. We should have Merry Christmas again. Let's bring back Merry Christmas. You weren't allowed to say Merry Christmas. I got it back. Yeah.
It's a nice crowd, huh?
Even if you're Jewish, they like to say Merry Christmas. Every one of my Jewish friends say, we love Merry Christmas.
I'm Jewish. I love Merry
Good.
Christmas.
And
too.
you know, Kamala doesn't. Kamala,
doesn't like
no,
it?
She doesn't want you to use Merry Christmas.
Wow.
She thinks it's insulting to use Merry Christmas. So we'll have to work on her.
I wanted to ask you a question. Speaking of, you said something about common sense, someone who has no common sense, Joe Biden. Do you think he was pushed
Jim Crow Joe.
out, or do you think he made the decision to step down?
No, he was not only pushed out, it was a coup. I'm telling you. They went in to see him. He did badly. The debate was a disaster.
It was horrible.
Okay.
With 86 votes. People are saying Kamala Harris has more pantsuits than Steve Harvey. Now listen, man. The woman's got a lot of pantsuits. But Steve Harvey got a new pantsuit every Family Feud. Every time he do a radio show. Think about it. He had a talk show, came out with a pantsuit. Family Feud, new pantsuit. Then he went to his radio show, another pantsuit. That's a lot of pantsuits. I know Kamala does a lot of well, not really. She's only done one rally right now. But I'm sure she got a lot of pantsuits laid out for the next few months. I don't know. It's a tough one though. It's a tough one, you know. Steve Harvey, come on, who got more pantsuits? I don't know.
I don't know if I was brilliant or if he was horrible. Maybe it was a combination of both.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah.
I know one thing. They were saying after I left, they said, you know, that was one of the greatest debate performances we've ever seen. And then 2 days later, they just said he was terrible. You know,
Right.
they never gave. They
Right.
took away the great debate performance stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, but no, I mean, I did fine, and he is. He shouldn't have. Look, he's done tremendous damage to our country.
He has.
Terrible president. He was the worst president we've ever had. She's, by the way, considered.
I'm of the belief that black people have never had a good president. Is he the worst president we've ever had? We've had some bad presidents, man. Is he one of the worst presidents we've had as of recently? I mean, you got Obama, Obeezy, incentivizing every community, bailing out big corporation, tap dancing for the LGBTQ community, but not doing for anybody else. Then you got, George W. All the money he blew. Country almost went into a Great Depression with him in office. I mean, we had some bad, of recent presidents. We've had some bad presidents. I mean, in the last, 20 years. In the last 20 years, we had some bad presidents, man. I think, he's not one of the best. I'm definitely gonna say that. But I mean, as a black man, I can't say that black people have ever had a good president, though. So I mean, if you're gonna compare, Trump's presidency to Biden's presidency, I always say that Trump had a better presidency because he fed the streets. Joe Biden did not feed the streets. He sent your money everywhere else but to the American people. So if I'm comparing presidencies, I would say Trump had a better presidency. But Biden the worst? I don't know. He's not a good president, but I would say he's the worst.
The most unpopular vice president we've ever had. But she's worse than he is. I actually think he's smarter than her, and I think he's a really not smart person. But I think he's smarter than she is. But she was convenient. She was there. They have better people. I mean, they have much better. In fact, all of the people that she's looking at are considered much better than her. These were.
Chad says fed the streets. Yeah, Trump fed the streets. Stimulus package. PPP loan. The streets was eating. Ain't nobody eating with Biden in office. He's sending billions of dollars over to Ukraine and Israel. Respectfully. Trump fed the streets. That's a fact.
The people that were thinking about running, they would have run, except that they didn't want to go through this roadblock with her. And, because you're the vice president.
Somebody said the poll is comical. We just trying to find out who got more pantsuits. Is it Steve Harvey or is it Kamala Harris? Fox News called Kamala Harris the pantsuit messiah. I'm trying to find out who got more pantsuits.
So they wanted to go pick them, and I think virtually every one of them is considered better, smarter, would be a better president than her. But we can't allow her to be president. She's going to destroy our country.
She'll ruin it. I mean, already it's ridiculous what she's saying.
And by the way, the youth is so important because youth tends to be Democrat, and as they get older, they become Republican. It's what's happening. We can't wait 50 years. We can't. Make the move now. All of you young people, and he's got a lot of them. All I know is my kids say, Dad, you have no idea how big this interview is. I said, don't tell me that. But make the move now. Don't wait.
And that was the interview. It was more, maybe I'll get into the other part tomorrow. Adin Ross was like asking him about, different people. I think that'll be a good video to do tomorrow. Maybe I'll get into that tomorrow. Where Adin Ross was, he was asking him about, different political people like AOC, Gavin Newsom, a couple political leaders like the North Korean dictator, and just different people. He was asking him about different people and stuff like that in the political landscape. I'll probably get into that tomorrow. But yeah, who has more pantsuits? We need to know who has more pantsuits. Let me know who got more pantsuits. We're about to close that poll real quick. Who has more pantsuits? We need to get to the bottom of that. Steve Harvey or Kamala Harris? Who has more pantsuits? I want to know. I need to know. I need to know who has more pantsuits, man. Who has more pantsuits? Because listen, Steve Harvey, I don't even care about nothing they was talking about. Like, it's all about the pantsuits for me right now. We need to know who got the pantsuits. I mean, if you ask me, I think Steve Harvey got more pantsuits than Kamala. You got to think. Steve Harvey had a pantsuit. Steve Harvey had like at least 3-4 shows on television. He had the talk show. He had Family Feud, and I think he had a third show. He had a pantsuit for every show. And then think about it. He had 3 different pantsuits for 3 different shows. Then he does a radio show. He probably had a 4th pantsuit. We're talking about you're doing a show daily. 3 different shows daily. And a radio show. 4 different pantsuits. Daily. Think about how many pantsuits that is in a year. That's a... It's a lot of pantsuits. But But with that being said, I hope you guys have been entertained as well as enlightened. I am your host, True and Living. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna do more talks. We're gonna have more dialogues. We're gonna walk this thing through. Tomorrow I may get into Donald Trump talking about different political opponents. This was a long discussion he had with Adin Ross. I think I'll get into that. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Somebody said they had a problem with the sound effects. Well, listen, man. I don't know what to tell you. I like the sound effects. If you don't like them, I don't know what to tell you. I hope it irritates you. I hope it bothers you. But in the meantime and in between time, hold on. Give me 1 second, y'all. I'm looking at something. All right, okay. Yeah, but in the meantime and in between time, y'all have a blessed night. I want to thank Sinclair for putting in that mod work tonight. Salute to Sinclair. Again, if you haven't liked, comment, or subscribe, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. We're going to do more talks. We're going to have more discussions. Tune in for the discussions and the dialogues. We're going to have more. We're going to talk this thing. We're going to walk this thing through down. With that being said, you guys have a good night, man. We are out of here. Y'all have a good night. We out.
What a thrill. With darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you.
Go get yourself some pantsuits. They got pantsuits on sale at Nordstrom's. They got pantsuits on clearance at Claire's right now. Go get yourself a Kamala Harris package. We out.